The Buffalo No-Huddle brought to you by Genesee Community College and Ficarella's Pizzeria. Get your game time fix.
Okay, I realize we might have a little bit of a Major League Harry Doyle thing going on. I think the first week I wore a dress shirt, and now I've worked my way down to a hoodie. But frankly, this is the only dry thing I own after Sunday's game. Because I heard, passing shower, so why bring rain gear? I was like a drowned rat at the game. But, hey, I loved every bit of it. I never felt so good being so soggy in my life. It is the Buffalo No-Huddle from the Batavia Daily News and the Livingston County News. I'm Jimi Jamm from CJ Country. I host the morning show from 6 to 10. Along with me, executive producer of this show for the Batavia Daily News, Marc Tillery. And we're here to talk about the Bills, talk about last week, talk about this week. Last week, 40-0 over the Houston Texans. What more could you say about the game? I mean, I have some thoughts as far as what's expected of the Bills versus what they did. But what were your thoughts about the game?
Man, wins like that, you sleep good at night, and it makes you want to get up on a Monday morning. Now, first of all, we can rewind it, put the footage up there.
Yeah.
I said 42 points last week.
You did.
They put up 40. How much did you say?
Oh, you're gonna make me think of this now. I want to say maybe it was 28-13, something like that. Maybe no, or was it? Or did I say 33? I said 33. I said they put up 33.
So I get both showcases.
You do. Price is right. I had to think about that. Yeah.
No, seriously. No, it was cool when I looked at it. I was like, I really said 40. And not that I'm Nostradamus over here or anything, but it was cool to finally predict something that close.
I thought I was genius, but no, Trubisky wasn't going to let me have my prediction because I had 33.
You're right.
And then he scored at the end of the game.
So it was garbage time, so we both win.
Here's the thing. 40-0 is great. Love it. I still don't know who this football team is.
You're right.
Because they've been playing tomato cans for the last 3 weeks. I mean, let's get real. I don't know what happened the first game against Pittsburgh. I don't. And this is a little more of a macro discussion of the season to this point than micro. But, they haven't played some, tough opponents. And they handled their business. So, I mean, if you're going to play a bad team, play one of the worst offensive lines in football, and play rookie quarterbacks and backup quarterbacks, they're doing what they need to do. They're hammering people. It's just that they're going to go from playing these guys, these stiffs, and now play a guy who's the gold standard at quarterback coming up this week. And we'll get into the Chiefs game. I love it. I love what they've been doing. But we really don't know enough yet.
Bottom line with that defense, though, I don't care if it was Davis Mills or if it was Deshaun Watson or if it was Bobby Brown. The whole point is, whoever was playing quarterback that day, the Bills' defense had their number. I mean, I get it. It was a rocky first quarter. Josh goes out and throws an interception first play of the game.
It was a monsooning in the first quarter, though, too.
So, I mean, you got weather as a factor there. But the bottom line is that team got it together. They knew exactly what to do against the Texans in the second, and it was just smooth sailing from there. A couple of Tyler Bass field goals, 4 for 4 Tyler Bass. So great game from Bassmaster again.
Absolutely.
But coming down to it, I mean, Josh threw the first interception. Everybody was, we all got a little worried. But, even the greatest quarterbacks go out there and they play that kind of game. And they get back on their feet. And that shows maturity with Josh Allen. He can go out there and it's not going to rattle him and he's not going to go sit on the bench.
It's only his second pick of the year. I mean, if that's going to rattle him, he's got bigger problems than...
But some quarterbacks do let that get to him, and it's a game changer. It shows his maturity as a quarterback where he didn't let it bother him.
I wasn't panicked. I was hoping for the rain to stop, and you notice the offense kicked in right when the rain did stop. I mean, the rest of the game was sort of on and off, but it was never like it was in the first quarter, and that was a wet ball. So his first 2 passes sailed, one for a pick, and that one that went over Diggs' head, although I'm not completely convinced he didn't try to throw it away.
Right.
So, but anyway, bigger picture.
Great game overall.
Bigger picture from 10,000 feet, though. We got to dig into what the Bills really are, and is it going to be enough when they take on Kansas City? Let's go to our awards from this past game. Who's your pick for most valuable player from this past game?
Most valuable player is bottom line. It's going to the defense for their performance. Where they had forced 5 turnovers overall against the Texans, and just. They took it to them. Like I said, it was a rocky first quarter. Everybody was getting used to what was going on as far as the weather goes and adapting to it. But the Bills just stepped up that defense. Oh, man, what can you say?
Defense never looked up bad in this game. They really never did.
What can you say? You had a backup go in there and get an interception. That's exactly what you're looking for because when he comes back healthy, then you got the backup that can come in and play anytime. I mean, granted, we were playing tin cans. We were playing the Texans. But the whole point is, the defense showed up, and they Boogie Basham with his first sack of the season.
Yep.
And first career sack. What am I saying?
Yep.
It was just one heck of a performance by the defense that day, and that's why they get my performance of the day. My player of the day goes to that Buffalo defense.
Yeah, defense looked good. Tremaine Edmonds being AFC player, defensive player of the week. My pick is Dawson Knox. I continue to like what he's done, and maybe I'm looking at this through colored glasses a little bit because and I'll explain why in a little bit. But I just feel like he has elevated his game, picked up a couple touchdowns, including that beautiful one with the run after the catch.
Right.
Nice effort there to get in the end zone for that first touchdown he scored. But Dawson Knox has lifted his play to a new level. I wouldn't put him with the Travis Kelce's and the Kittles of the world or the Gronks.
I was going to say that, though.
But I don't even know if he's a Shockey at this point. But he's coming along. He's coming along in a really strong way. He's leading the AFC among tight ends with touchdown receptions.
And plus, he's a touchdown in 3 consecutive games, so he's definitely rising to the occasion. And we don't have our Travis Kelce yet, but we certainly have a nice blueprint of what's going into that. Knox is definitely a beast out there.
He's an up and comer. Now, our Better Luck Next Time award. Who do you give that to?
My Better Luck Next Time award. Nobody ever claimed that playing quarterback was going to be easy, but his second pro game, he's almost bested Nathan Peterman for the worst game in 3 years in the NFL by a quarterback. So, you know who I'm going with on here. I'm not trying to pick on Davis Mills, but the Bills defense made him probably want a career change after that day. So Davis Mills. Better luck next time, man. It could have been bro seriously, but I'm giving you a break in this one.
All right, better luck next time. You know what? I didn't see a whole lot of flaws out there, so better luck next time is just Matt Milano, keeping him healthy. He did not practice today. Now, we're taping this on a Wednesday.
Yes.
So Thursday is the real telling sign. If he doesn't practice, that could be a red flag for the Bills. Now, I will say, the way they were handling Houston, maybe they said, okay, you tweaked your hamstring. Let's keep you out, err on the side of caution.
Right.
Because he actually had his helmet on, was stretching on the sidelines. So I'm wondering if they just said with an abundance of caution, there's no need for you to come back in. We'd rather have you for next week against Kansas City. They listed him as doubtful, which didn't sound great. But then again, this Bills training staff, I will say, is really good at being overly cautious.
And that's good.
Like
compared
when Diggs,
to years past.
Remember when Diggs hurt his knee in training camp? You didn't hear from him for quite a while. An abundance of caution. They really, really did a good job protecting him. So I'm going to say Milano only because he couldn't finish. The Bro Seriously Award. What's your pick?
I mean, how do you not laugh at what the Texans are pulling? It's going out to 2 Texans. I mean, I can't pick, nobody can pick on the Bills this week. I didn't want to give them anything bad. They got their
that's all right. I got
my
one
defense player, and I got to combat you on that too.
All right.
But Texans defender Lonnie Johnson Jr. He starts the game off with an interception. His game's going great, and then he goes and pushes Knox for that infamous LeBron James flop.
That was a beautiful flop.
It was an amazing flop. That
World
was
Cup
Academy
worthy.
Award, World Cup worthy. Yeah, definitely NBA worthy, but we won't go there.
Right.
And of course, Desmond King II for stepping up to rookie Spencer Brown and making himself a meme for the next 10 years.
My Bro Seriously Award, 4 fumbles in 4 games. None of them lost, but that luck could run out at some point for Devin Singletary. You got to hold on to the football. This is the NFL. Not for long if you keep on, losing balls. That's what NFL stands for. Not for long you keep fumbling like that. You can't.
Keep in mind, he had a big run that was called back for a holding call. So he did start the game pretty decently, but
he had some good runs later.
Yeah.
He had some good runs later in the game when the game was in sort of garbage time. But again, 4 fumbles, none of them lost. But we can't afford. He can't be coughing them up against Kansas City because they'll take those and run with them. Kansas City will turn those into points.
But Moss has become our go-to back. I mean, Singletary's got to be feeling the pressure now. He's got to be, and maybe that could be getting in his head out there. But Moss has just been a solid performer. He's not putting up amazing numbers, but he's been a solid performer.
Yeah.
And it helps they're keying on the backs, and that helps Knox get open. It helps Sanders get open. It certainly helps Diggs put up 114 yards this week.
Yeah.
No touchdowns, but Diggs had one heck of a game, and I'd love to see him back out there. And it's great to see him just contributing like he was last year.
All right, so we're 1 quarter into the season, although it's now a 17-game season, so not really. But we're technically at the quarter pole, 4 games in. And so, Mark, what's your pick for the Bills MVP through the first quarter of the season? Who would you pick?
Look, I would love to give it to the entire defense right now for the pitching the 2 shutouts and just doing the performances they've been putting up. But if I got to give it to one leader offensively, then bottom line it's Josh Allen. We started off.
Pick one. Who are you picking then?
We fell on our face in the Pittsburgh game. And, Allen's led that team. Community loves him. The team loves him. Everybody plays for that guy.
Right.
But if I got to give it to one individual, it's QB1, Josh Allen.
My pick, it's not a guy who's had a ton of stats, but he is contributing in a big way, and I think he brings an X factor. Emmanuel Sanders is my pick for MVP for the first quarter of the season because he's brought in a guy who's won championships before.
Yeah.
He's a stabilizing force out there. I think he's a calming force. I remember during the Pittsburgh game, during one timeout, I happened to see it from my seat in the end zone, seeing him shaking Josh, going, "Loosen up, dude, relax." I think he brings that to the game, and he respects everybody on the team. He likes being here, and he is balling. He is catching passes over the middle. He caught that beautiful touchdown in the end zone, that diving catch. He is balling out at age 34, 30.
Yeah,
I mean,
he brings the culture
great.
and he brings the leadership to that locker room. And the thing is, he doesn't bring it with an egotistical swag or anything like that. He won a Super Bowl. He wants to bring this city and this team to Super Bowl. And Josh Allen is definitely the player to get him there. Otherwise, he wouldn't be here right now.
Don't get me wrong. I love John Brown Smoke. We loved you.
Yeah.
But Sanders is an upgrade there, and yeah, he's my first quarter MVP.
We love our former players, man, without a doubt.
Absolutely. All right, so
laundry, we love you.
let's ask Alex Brasky of the Batavia Daily News. Alex, who is your Bills MVP through the first quarter of the season?
When it comes to my Bills MVP through 4 weeks, it's too difficult to narrow it down to one player. My Bills MVP is the defense. It's simply been incredible this season, turning back into the 2019 defense that we saw dominate the NFL and finish atop the league in many defensive categories. It's been a complete effort for the Bills defense, starting at linebacker. Matt Milano has probably been the best player for the Bills defense, but like I said, it's tough to say. Also, Tremaine Edmonds at linebacker has had a fantastic season. Up front, the revamped pass rush has been quality for the Bills this season. Still some work left to do, but they rank near the top in sacks. I think 12 on the season for the Bills. Rookie Greg Rousseau has been a revelation, and the second year for A.J. Epinesa has been much better than the first. In the back end, the secondary has just been as steady as she goes, beginning with those two safeties, Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde. Although Poyer missed last week, that duo has to be one of the best tandems in the NFL. On the outside, Tre'Davious White has had a fantastic season, and those second corners, Levi Wallace, Dane Jackson, and the like have been quality as well. So my Bills MVP, the Bills defense, turning back into that 2019 form.
Choose a school where the arts come alive, where science and technology thrive, to create something extraordinary. No matter which path you choose, GCC gives you the tools to start your next journey. Because when you choose GCC, your time is now.
All right, thanks, Alex. And now let's talk about Sunday night at Arrowhead, the 500-pound elephant that's red and gold, the Kansas City Chiefs. And look, I've heard all the talk. I've heard about how their defense is less than it has been. Kyle Brandt at NFL Network is saying how the Chiefs, their window has been open for a couple years now, and they may be a tick lower than they were as a team. But look, Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. I said at the top of the show, the Bills have been playing tomato cans. We don't know how they will handle Mahomes. Mahomes has had 3 touchdown passes in his first 4 games this season. I don't think that's been done except by 4 or 5 other quarterbacks in history. Tyreek Hill, 186 yards and 3 touchdowns last game. Kelsey's a problem. Travis Kelsey's a problem.
No matter where you look, there's a weapon, and never, ever count Andy Reid out. Andy Reid's already got a game plan going against the Bills, especially after last year.
So here's the thing. Look, I am very happy the way Buffalo has played so far. Don't get me wrong. And I'm not trying to be negative about this, but but look, until things get proved otherwise, there's a gap there, and we got to find out if they're going to make it up. Do you think they can make it up? I don't want your picks just yet because we're going to talk to Alex and ask him about this game too. What do you think as far as?
Well, like I said, we're fans first for Buffalo, but we're also analysts, and we look at it last week with the teams that we picked, and the Raiders lost this past weekend. Which
the Rams. Let's talk about the Rams. I was all saying the Rams were something. The Cardinals waxed them.
That was my number one team. I think was the Rams. I want to say, and Buffalo was third. And I got shut down real quick. But it comes down to it. It's the NFL is unpredictable. Any given Sunday, any given game day, and to see the Raiders get beat by the Los Angeles Chargers. The Chargers, we didn't even put in any of those lists, and they are that team. They are
an up and comer, and not for nothing, they are a team Buffalo has to watch out for if they get a divisional matchup against them in the playoffs.
But getting back to this game and getting back to the AFC, the Bills have a chance to put 2 games between themselves and Kansas City.
2.5.
2.5. Okay,
because they'll have the tiebreaker.
That's right.
The difference is they lose half game behind. They win 2.5 up on Kansas City. So this game's big.
That's big. And the race for home field advantage. Meanwhile, the Chiefs slipping to 2-3 could be a reality, and it leaves the AFC wide open. We definitely need home field advantage with this team and with the fans behind them and everything else. We need to learn how to win on the road, especially if we do get into a wild card situation.
Yeah.
But we also need that home field advantage. And picking against the Chiefs at home in primetime is hard to do for anybody.
Right.
So we'll figure that out later. I'm still, as a Bills fan, I want to say the Bills are going to win, but there's a reality there that you're playing in Kansas City. The chops are going, everything is going, the fans are going nuts, and that team is on fire in night games.
Yeah, they are. I will say, though, Buffalo's look pretty good on Sunday night as of late.
You know what? Here's the biggest problem I have is we've all geared up for primetime games. We've got excited for primetime games, and the Bills have disappointed in front of the national
Not
audience.
on Sunday nights, though. The 2 Pittsburgh games,
Yeah.
and then a night playoff game against the Ravens.
But let's see what they do against Kansas
That's
City.
the last 3 games. That is a trend. 3 is a trend.
3 is definitely a magic number in this one, man.
Yeah, that's right. 3's company, too. Come and knock on our door. All right, so I want to ask Alex Brasky right now from the Batavia Daily News. Alex, if above all, what's the one thing the Bills got to do to beat the Chiefs? What is it?
The key for the Bills this week when it comes to defeating the Kansas City Chiefs is simple. Getting after quarterback Patrick Mahomes. The Bills were unable to do so in 2 matchups last season, and they must get to Mahomes this weekend if they hope to have any chance of unseating the defending AFC champion. The Bills have revamped their pass rush this season, but the Chiefs have also revamped their offensive line. 5 new starters up front along the line of scrimmage for the Chiefs offense. So a challenge in front of that revamped pass rush this weekend. Gregory Rousseau has had an up and down start to the season. A.J. Epinesa as well. Veterans Jerry Hughes and Mario Addison have been steady, but really the surprise has been Star Lotulelei in the center of that Bills pass rush. 2 sacks, 1 in each of the Bills' last 2 games, and if he's affecting the pass rush, we know what he can do against the run. If Star Lotulelei is impacting the Bills' pass rush, boy, the sky is the limit for this group, and they must reach that limit this weekend against the Chiefs.
All right, Alex. Now let's go around the board here and let's do our picks. And Marc, you go first.
Look, like I said before we went to Alex, that this is the Chiefs in prime time. This is Buffalo in prime time. Josh Allen has a chance. He's got to be in playoff form that night, but he's got to be in playoff form against what they did with the Ravens. I get it, they were playing at home. I get it, they had the home crowd behind them. But Buffalo is that team that I don't want to call it pulling upset because we are rated the best team in the NFL by some sources right now.
Yeah, depending on who you talk to. Yeah,
depending on who you talk to. But I'm gonna be as clear as I can with this. I like the Bills in a close 34-31 game against the Chiefs. I want to say the legend of Josh Allen continues that night. We put another chapter in that book. He's going to go off. He didn't have Sanders last year. He didn't have a defense that was firing on all cylinders like we're doing now. I don't know if our injured players are going to be back. We'll see about the injury report this week. That hasn't come out yet. And I'd love to see Milano in there. But I think with Dawson Knox emerging the way he's playing and the wide receivers, and hopefully we'll get a good game out of Singletary, I see a 34-31, and the roller coaster is definitely – it's going to be a roller coaster, a potential roller coaster ride for that game with these 2 teams playing each other. But I like the Bills with a late score winning the game.
All right. Here's my thought on it. If the defense plays up to their potential, it could be a really special night. They got to have Milano. Now, Milano has played hurt when he needs to, so there's one thing there. I'd love to have Poyer back in the lineup. They just need to be healthier is better. I just think you need all your horses to take them on. If they can get a few stops, and like I said earlier, 24 points. If they can hold Kansas City 24 or below, they got a real good shot of winning this. The margin of the last few games against them has been like 11 points or more. You know what I mean? They just have not been close. I don't know if they can win this one. They will get closer, but right now I've got Kansas City 26-20.
That's respect.
Look at your head whip around. I'm just saying.
That's respect.
I'm being honest. And look, trust me, I want it to be different. I'm just saying, right now, you got to knock the champ out to beat the champ. And here's a big opportunity. I just hope they don't play tight because I think they played tight and nervous in the AFC Championship game. I hope the energy is a little different from them. It's time for them to take what's theirs, and I hope they can. Now let's check with Alex Brasky. Alex, what's your pick? Final score for Sunday night.
So time for a prediction for this week's game. Give me the Bills to win 31-24. 28 after 2 losses last season. Give me Buffalo to get back on the winning track against Kansas City. Josh Allen and the Bills' passing attack has finally found its rhythm after a slow start, but I think the key in this game is going to be that Bills defense. It's been absolutely on fire in the early going, and they really have to get after Patrick Mahomes this week if they have any hope of slowing the Chiefs' offense down, and I think the Bills will. Give me the Bills to come away with 2 or 3 sacks in this game, knock down Mahomes on a regular basis, and really make it difficult for the former MVP to find his rhythm in this game. So 31-28, give me the Bills to win this game. Josh Allen and the Bills passing offense out-duels Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce and company at Arrowhead Stadium.
Nick Ficarella, the pizza-making university.
All right, there you go. I hope I'm wrong, brother. I really do.
Look, man, there's one player that's got a chip on his shoulder right now. It's that one player that stood there and watched them celebrate and looked up at that screen and watched all the confetti come down and everything else. Diggs is wearing his heart on his sleeve this game. I promise you, Stephon Diggs is coming to play. Without a doubt, the Buffalo Bills will win this game.
What you're guaranteeing?
I'm not shooting my shot and pointing to the fence and saying that this is for that.
I was going to say, because we could take this piece of tape and run it again next week.
This is for that little kid in the hospital. But I'm certainly going to say, I'm going to pull a Kyle Brandt and say they're winning this game. If they don't win this game, I will go through a table in front of Ficarella's next week.
Wow. All right. That does it for the Buffalo No-Huddle.
Speaking of Ficarella's.
Yes. I was about to mention them as a sponsor, but please go ahead.
I'm hungry. I need to get.
I don't miss many meals. What's your point?
See, you were at the game on Sunday getting drenched. I was sitting down eating pizza and enjoying the game on a big screen TV.
Stop it. Ficarella's is no joke, and they're a sponsor of the show. We appreciate them, and Genesee Community College.
Go Cougars.
That is the Buffalo No-Huddle for this week. I'm Jimi Jamm from CJ Country. Please listen mornings 6 to 10, because macaroni and cheese does cost money. And executive producer Marc Tillery here from the Batavia Daily News. We will talk to you next week. Until then, go Bills.
It's more fun.